Hello everyone. Since every server has Stigmata and Rosetta in guild, and this is going to last until the end of the patch, I thought I would make a video explaining more in depth about the rotation. So I start off with a single dodge into a double dodge. I think that's faster than doing a double into a single one. Then I use Rosetta's blue to apply the physical shred. Now when switching to Stigmata, you will want to trigger Matrix ASAP and then do an additional free ping before going into ult. The reason for the additional free ping is just to have more energy so you can always ult every time you switch in again. After the ult, you always switch out. Avoid using character QTs when you're close to the 1 million threshold. The idea behind the rotation is that we have two DPS, Lumi and Stigmata. Rosetta is there to apply physical shred and her tank passive. She does that with her switching attack or blue ping. The blue ping doesn't matter if it's 1, 2 or 3 ping. When should you switch? Basically after reaching 1 million threshold, you should switch twice to your Rosetta and one of your DPS units. If the DPS unit doesn't right away reach the 1 million threshold, then they will by doing additional DPS. Either Lumi does pinks like red and yellows, or Stigmata does her core ult or second ult. After Stigmata's second ult, you should always switch out. The reason behind that is that her matrix is not up, therefore she can't do core into ult again. The only exception to that is that when you take too long on other characters, then your matrix might be up again. The reason why I did a double quick switch there was because I was really close to the 1 million threshold and I didn't want to miss out Rosetta's cooldown reset. Now to simplify Stigmata's rotation, during your first switch in, you do core, which would be trigger matrix into matrix ping. Then you cancel core ending animation, which saves you a bit of time. After that, you do a free ping to gain more energy, so every time you switch again, you have enough energy for your second ult. After this, you do your first ult and switch out right away. During the second switch in, you just do your second ult and you just switch out. There will be times where you will see me use matrix ping and then ult right away. That's because I messed up. As you can see, since I spent more time on Lumi and Rosetta, my Stigmata's matrix is up again, even though I used her matrix during her previous switch in. This is another mistake I made. I should have switched into Lumi instead of trying to apply physical shred on the new spawn. You might have noticed how the previous spawn died and the new spawn still took damage from the explosion. That's because the arrived skill procs first and the Collab core beta 1 procs a bit later after that. This is only doable early on when boss respawns don't have a lot of iframes. If the boss is very low on health after Stigmata's first ult, then it's better to finish the boss off. The reason behind it is that when you switch to the next character, Collab core will do the full damage to the new spawn instead of wasting the damage on the previous spawn. Since Rosetta's switching attack did not apply on the new spawn, I applied the physical shred with the blue ping. Here I make a mistake by using Stigmata's QT when I'm very close to the 1 million threshold. To mitigate that, I wait for her QT to leave the field and then I switch to Rosetta. Sometimes you might see me do a Stigmata normal attack after using her first ult. That's because I want to reposition myself to the boss if I'm a bit too far away from him. If you're too far away, then your Collab core explosions won't land. Another mistake, I should have switched to Rosetta instead of Lumi. We are about to reach 20 million damage threshold, and this is where I slow down after every boss respawn, because the iframe durations are now long enough where I have to pay attention. If you switch in when the boss has iframes, your explosions from Arrived or Collab Core Beta won't land at all, therefore you will be missing damage. Once again, I wait for the iframes to come off, and then I apply physical shred with Rosetta's blue. Because waiting for the boss iframes, Stigmata's matrix should be up more often than previously. Again, I try to finish off the boss before switching to the next character so my Collab Core can do full damage. This double quick switch was unintentional, because sometimes when you press the switch to the character and it resets the other character's cooldown, it might switch to the other character that you were previously on. The reason I'm using second ult with Stigmata here is because I have to wait for the boss iframes anyway, and the boss iframes do not get time stopped, so might as well use her ult there. So my Stigmata's matrix comes up the moment I press the first ult, which I will regret. Right here, when I switch to Stigmata, I don't have enough energy to ult, so that is a shame. But overall, that still was a pretty good run, decent rotation. Another thing I forgot to mention during the run is you should pay attention to your Collab Core count. Like for example, if your Collab Core is at 2-2, then you should switch to the character when the boss is healthy enough. There might be situations where you just have to switch because your character can't do fast enough damage to like not lose time, so you kind of have to overkill the boss with the big explosion. But yeah, that's all the things I wanted to mention and talk about. So hopefully this video is useful for the people that are still not really familiar with the new guild rotation. And yeah, thanks for watching everyone, and I hope you have a great day.